Hello. I'm going to show you how I pack my ceramics work, and I've been packing ceramics since 2007, and I've been packing a lot of ceramics since 2018 because I've been doing this full time since then. It's evolved a little bit over the years, but this is kind of what I've settled on for now, and it's never let me down. I can't even remember the last time I had something break. It's been years, so let's do it. I pack everything initially in what's called Ranpack. There are machines that you can put this in that kind of feed it out for you, and then the machine cuts it. I don't bother with that. It is kind of expensive, but first it looks like this. I get mine at Staples. It costs like $30 a roll, but it lasts a very long time, and it's better than using plastic bubble wrap, which actually probably isn't that much cheaper. I don't remember. It's been a long time since I've used bubble wrap. So I just spread mine out on the table. I don't use the machine. The machine costs a few dollars a month. You can rent them, but I don't have any space for that anyway. This is kind of the biggest space I have really to do everything that I do with. So some people just like wrap it and then crinkle the edges, but I kind of have a system. And I tie it together with normally cute string, but this is all I've got right now. And you just kind of get used to knowing how much you need to tie the package with instead of taping it up. I don't know why I'm yelling. The mic is right here. Okay. Usually shipping mugs, but I kind of do the same thing every time. There's like a truck backing up outside, so if you hear the beeping, my bad. Hopefully you can't hear it. I usually start with it on its side. And I usually do it this way, but I don't know if you guys will be able to see it that way, so let's see. And I usually will give it like two or three passes. One more. And I fold all of this in. And then I cut it. And then I fold the bottom over on itself, and then I roll it the opposite way for 2 or 3 passes. And I feel for the handle. I like to keep the handle on the outside because then I'm going to be folding more of this on the end, so it gives it extra cushion. This stuff kind of hurts your fingers a little bit, so you might need like thin work gloves or gardening gloves or something, but I stopped wearing them. I was doing that for a while, but maybe I toughened up, I don't know. And then I just feel it to see how much of the package I can still feel. I kind of want to go. It doesn't have to be like you can't feel it at all, but you don't want like any hard edges kind of sticking out. And then I kind of fold it like a little present. One end. And that's where the handle is, so it's gonna give it a little more protection. It's a little precarious, but I'm super used to it. You can use whatever you want. But this holds it together without tape. And then I can tie a little bow, and it's so pretty. Well, maybe not super pretty, but it's nice and rustic. That holds it together, and then I write everybody a little thank you card because everybody's so wonderful. And I just tuck it in there. This one's going to an Amy. Shout out if you're watching. You're probably not, but what's up? Let's set this to the side. Right, this is the tape I use. It's just paper tape, and it's like you have to wet it to make it stick. I got it off of Amazon, and I was worried it would cost a lot more than the plastic tape because for one roll it does, but when I'm using the plastic tape, I'm like going over like 2 or 3 times per seam and using a ton of plastic tape. And with this, you need one strip, and it's very, very, very sticky, and it's not going anywhere, and I've not had any issues with it. There are machines also that will wet it for you and cut it as you pull it out, but I ain't got time for that. I say as I do it manually and take forever. So I literally just have a little sponge and a little bucket. And then Liam cut the end off of this so the tape kind of pulls through that way a little bit. It is kind of flimsy. For the sake of holding it still, I'm gonna put a rock in it just to hold it down. And you don't want it soaking wet, but pretty good and damp. Then I'd measure it. So I like to have just a few inches on each side. Like that. And I cut it. And usually I'll go ahead and pre-cut as many strips of tape that I know I'm gonna need for how many boxes I have. But that's up to you. You can tell which side because it's shiny. As soon as it's wet, it's sticky, like really, really sticky. So I always hold it in the middle and I kind of get the curl out of it. And I usually put more water on this than Liam ever puts in here. Can you put more water in it? I need that sponge to be wet. You can lay this on the table too, it's whatever. Just keep in mind what's wet on the table. You could get other tape wet that you don't want to get wet yet. Then you just grab it way down here, careful. And I put half of it along the edge and close it and then tuck it. And as soon as you touch it, it's stuck. So that's also precarious. The tape machine might be better for some of you if you don't trust yourself. I've been doing it forever, so I can do it really quickly. But it's on. And then I can feel my box. Okay, this is a roll of craft paper. It's not a super thick one. It's when it's a little bit more comfortable to crunch up. I think the actual thickness will vary. I think I ordered this from Staples. I don't remember the cost of it. It might be $25 to $30 for this kind of roll, but it lasts me months and months and months and months. And this is what I crinkle up myself and just use as filler instead of peanuts. I used to use like biodegradable peanuts, which are really good, but they cost like $18, sometimes more depending on where you live and where you get it from for a big bag. But the big bag only lasted me maybe like two shop updates. So like 20 to 30 boxes. And this lasts significantly longer than that. So it's noisy though. I just do the first layer. I'll show it to you in a second. Okay, I just got maybe, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 inches of fluff on the bottom for a bottom layer, and try to make sure it's filled evenly. There's no like holes, open spots that feel really shallow. And then I place it inside. Whee! And I use a box that is maybe a little bigger than what some people will use, but I think it's better safe than sorry. So I always have like, maybe like this much space all the way around. Sometimes it might be a little bit tighter, but you always want to keep like maybe 1 or 2 inches around all sides of the piece you're packing. And then I fill the rest up with more of the paper. I usually do like one side at a time and like slide it down in there and make sure that it's, when you shake it, it doesn't move at all. I don't know why I'm trying to do this so fast. I'm just used to doing it really fast because I want to get it done anyway. So I'm like, let's calm down a little. We'll kind of push it over a little bit. If you crunch 2 down at once, then it kind of stops. You have to kind of like just get a little bit in there at a time. And you don't want to pack it so tight that it's like squeezing your piece, and like any kind of pressure on the box is just gonna like be too much, because you don't want it to get crushed later. And so far it looks like that. And it doesn't move. And I still have, you know, like this much space on top to fill. I don't really pack these in tight. Like, I'm not like squeezing it to make a hard ball. I'm leaving like a little bit of fluff, but not so loose that, you know, it's gonna wobble all over the place. You get better at it as you go. Pretty decent so far, but there's still kind of a hole here, and I kind of like to fill the corners just a little bit. I'm kind of persnickety about it. You probably don't have to be that obsessive about it, but I think that's pretty good. Then I will close the box, and if it's too much in there and you're like packing it and it's like lifted like this and you have a big bump, then I take some out. I think that's just too much. And if they stack other boxes on top of it while it's being shipped, then it's gonna crush the piece a little bit, and that's not good. So I make sure it's enough to give some resistance, but enough to close evenly. Now I need another piece of tape. There that is. I need to get the tape, but I always keep the name of whoever bought the piece in the mug or whatever, or taped to the side of the piece. And then as soon as I'm done packing that box, I'll tape it to the box so that I don't get anybody's orders mixed up. Because like right now I have 7 boxes to pack. Sometimes I might have 15 or so. And it's like my biggest fear is sending someone the wrong piece. So that's how I keep everything sort of sorted. So just tape the name to the box. And then I ship everything with pirateship.com. I don't know if you can even see me. Hi, how's it going? I pack everything and ship it with pirateship.com. They give you the best rates of anybody, and it's extremely simple to use. There's no monthly fee or anything like with that other website. What does it even state? What's that? Stamps.com? Pirate Ship's where it's at. And I weigh everything with a food scale because it's just what I got, and it's always worked for me. I have mine just set to ounces, and I just enter in the full amount of the ounces in Pirate Ship instead of like, you know, whatever into it, because this won't measure pounds and ounces. It'll just measure pounds as in like 2.1 pounds instead of 2 pounds 3 ounces or whatever. If you have a scale like this and you notice that as soon as you put the box on it, like you can't see because your box is a little big, and then you have to like, oh, what was it? I stick it on there, and then I find the little button and I click it, and it will zero it out at this weight, so that when you then pick it up, it'll show the negative but like that's the weight. Like it says negative 40.32 ounces. I usually round up to 41 just to be safe. 40.3 ounces is the exact measurement. That one I'll probably just put 40 ounces on, and then I just write it really little on the box. Where did I put her name? Huh? Where'd the tape go? Like the tape.
I'm not sure. I usually just write the name on.
Yeah, I don't know where our tape's at, so I'm gonna write her name on the box. Can you see me when I'm just sitting down?
Yeah.
I've moved this since you've gotten up, so. If I'm packing more than one item in a box, I first of all make sure that box is big enough to have plenty of space around everything. Things don't start getting really expensive to ship until you've reached about 12 inches and bigger as far as size goes. Under that, it's weight more than anything that will make the price fluctuate. And I have gone in and meticulously calculated weight for almost every country and all the regions and states. I got like really into it to seeing just where the price bumps, and it bumps up at every pound, but not on the pound. So the price bump will be like 2 pounds, but then as soon as you go to 2 pounds, 1 ounce, the price will go up a little bit to the next tier and so on. But the price is built into my work. So I used to just charge separate for shipping, but either way, the customer is kind of paying the shipping. So I just get postage labels from Amazon and print them out on my normal at-home inkjet printer. It's nothing fancy at all. There's 2 sides, and so I will put it in and it'll print one, and then I'll turn my little paper around, and then I'll print my next shipping label. And these peel off and just stick right on top of the box. And if I think to, I'll put the same exact labels I use in the description below, and the tape and stuff that I use. So if you go into the description, you can find links for stuff if you want to get some. But I've never had a problem with it coming off of the box, and I have shipped in very hot weather because I live in Phoenix, so even if the temperature is like over 100 degrees outside and it's super hot, when I sit the boxes out, it's fine. I can't speak to if you sit your boxes out for pickup and it's humid though, so keep that in mind if you live in a humid climate. In some areas, the post office will pick them up for you. You can pay them to pick up at a certain time, or you could just have it scheduled to pick up the next day. So that's what I usually do. And you can tell them where to pick them up. For me, I'm kind of behind a house, so the road can't see here, but the post office knows to come to the back because there's a drop-down description and you tell them where you wanted to pick it up. And one of those options for pickup is like knock on the door. So if you don't want to set your boxes out somewhere where they can be seen from the road, then you can apparently just be home when they're there and they'll come knock on the door and pick them up. But for me, I click back door and they can see them here and they just come get them for me and I don't have to take them to the post office myself. But I know they don't do that in all areas, so just check. And that's USPS. I don't use UPS because I've not had good experiences with them. I stopped using them. But they will come pick up your box too, but they charge a fee no matter what. So yeah, that's it. That's how I've been packing everything for years and years, and I have very, very good luck with it all the time, knock on wood. If you have questions about anything, I'm sure some of you do, just ask and I will reply to them. I think that's it. Bye! Like and subscribe.